Welcome back to the Shadow Business Podcast. And as announced in last week's episode, these episodes are going to be very much about money. And one of the shadows that I see, because this is a Shadow Business Podcast, right, is that people actually, when it comes to money, when it comes to wealth, it is difficult to actually look at the numbers. And there is all these different ways, right? So I can do it hypnosis and where it's coming from and all those things. We can do that, right? But sometimes it's also just really showing you the fun of the numbers. I have loved, looking at this, looking at my numbers since I think forever, because for me, it's very important to have money because I know what it's like to not have a lot of money. And I decided at a very young age, I did not want that anymore. So that's my money story, actually, personally. But today, I want to talk about a very fun number, something that is not many people actually discuss this or talk about this or have conversations about, or you don't really have to fill it out in your taxes, and not many people know this, I guess, but we're going to talk about net worth. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking, yeah, just say it. And so net worth. And when sometimes you hear about a celebrity or about a billionaire and you hear their net worth and you're thinking, that's interesting. And I don't know how much money Jeff Bezos has at this point. I can probably just look it up whilst I'm speaking, but it doesn't really matter too much. But for conversations and everything, or for knowing what kind of person you are and all those things. Oh, here it is. So Jeff Bezos has 223 billion and a half billion US dollars. So there's also, because I'm going to share some numbers here, so I'm also going to talk about the currencies and everything. But so this is a lot of money, obviously. And then we can look up the net worth of, let's just say, Taylor Swift is 2 billion. Then when we're looking at, let's just say, Oprah, whom I love, 3.2 billion. Okay, so these are all billionaires. Let's just think of someone who might be a little bit more of a millionaire. I should have thought of this before. Anyway, let's just do 50 cents. 40 million. And it's estimated between 40 million and 150 million. Okay, so now we know. It was a suggestion from Google, right? So, you hear those numbers, right? And this is actually not money that people have on their bank accounts. It is money that is in all of their assets. So in their houses, in their jewelry, in their cars, in maybe their businesses, maybe other assets, maybe they have stocks, maybe they have ETFs, maybe they have crypto. Doesn't matter. I actually just saw, who was this? Was it Justin Bieber who bought the Boring Ape NFT, and or he actually sold it, and he made so much loss. He had so much loss. Let me just see if I can find it real quickly. No, I can't find it. Oh yes. Justin Bieber purchased this Bored Ape NFT for 1.3 million in 2022. This was when NFT was really in, and today it's worth $12,000. It's insane. So and this is also, so his net worth actually really got down just by buying this Bored Ape NFT, and it never really got very interesting. I understand, because NFTs, I mean, what's the point, really? So also the market really decides, obviously, how much something is worth. Anyway, so this from celebrities, but you are the celebrity of your own life, of course. So we're also going to look at your net worth, and I'm going to help you do that. And it's really one of the easiest ways to get and to understand your wealth. So I thought, let's just look at the numbers. Let's look at, not at the average numbers, because that's always a little bit difficult, because some people who are billionaires actually really bring it up, and some people who are below who really have an income below average or a net worth below average really pull it down. So we're looking at the median per country. And I was thinking, okay, so which countries shall I feature? Obviously, it's going to be the Netherlands because I am Dutch, but I was looking at all my podcast listeners and where they're coming from. And so you kind of know a little bit where you're at, and we're going to have a little bit fun with this. And we're going to look at each number and actually see, okay, am I there yet? Or am I above average or below average? And then it might be even the motivation you need to actually look at your numbers and to just check if you're anything like me and be very competitive like I am. I wish I wasn't, but yeah, alas, I am. Yeah, maybe it can really spark this fire inside of you. So this is also really what my coaching is like. So both, yes, we're looking at hypnosis, we're looking at the relationship with your mother when we're talking about money, all those things. But yeah, we also really like to do this very fun, practical exercise. So when we're looking, my top listeners are actually from the USA. Thank you very much for listening. And I was looking at the median of the net worth, and then also within age groups, because most of the people who are older, they actually bring the median up. And I was thinking, no, I'm going to do it for specifically my target group. So I looked at age groups 35 till 44 and 45 till 54. And so in the USA, 35 till 44 is the median net worth is, drumroll, 91,300. This is your net worth. And your net worth are all your assets. This is the house that you have and what you have paid off for your house. This is the car that you have. This is the jewelry that you have. Maybe also and deducted by outstanding loans, credit card debts, maybe student loan debts, all those things, right? So this is what it comes down to. And actually you can download a free net worth calculator, which can really help you create your net worth very precise. And you can download it. It's in the show notes, and you can download it and find it there. So from age group 45 till 54 is 186,600 US dollars. So this is for American people. This is the median of net worth. Okay, let's look at the Netherlands. This is my country, and I looked at it for age groups. And 35 to 45 years old is 119,200. So let's say a little bit over 119,919 euros. And it's, yeah, how much dollars would that be? I think it's $130,000, something like that. It's a little bit higher than the US median. And then it's actually 40,000 higher. It's not a little bit. Then 45 till 55 is 183,800. So almost 184. So euros. So interesting, quite high numbers, much higher than the US, which is the median net worth in the Netherlands. Then my third country of who I get a lot of listens from is Australia. And I was looking at this, and I had to look up what was the currency of the US or of the Australian dollar. So I'm also going to share that with you. So from the age group 35 to 44, it's 1,071,000 is the median net worth. And for 40, and this translates to 642,000 euros and 742.5 US dollars. So this is very interesting. I think always with so I had a conversation about this with my financial, it was my asset manager, and we spoke about whether I want to invest in either euros or US dollars, and I was like, why are these currencies? It's just, I understand why they're there, but this is such a big difference, right? So if you're looking at at that. And then Australian people actually, comparable, have so much more. It already sounds for far more interesting to have 1 million, of course, but then, yeah, translated, it's still quite a lot. 45 to 54 is 2.49 thousand. So that's million. Sorry, 2 million 49,000. And yeah, then I looked it up, and so my fourth group who's listening is Singapore. It's so funny. I never look at where my people are coming from, right? My listeners are coming from. Because there's no way of knowing. I don't know exactly who is listening. I just know the countries apparently, and I have this little chart that I can see, and sometimes I look at it, but I didn't know right now. And so yeah, Singapore. Hello, people from Singapore, and there was no diversification. I didn't find a source for diversification in age groups, but the median of Singapore is 134,308, which is 90,000 euros and 104,000 US dollars. Then I also looked at the interesting. I actually found at the UK. This is probably not right. Let me just double check. Yeah, of course, now the website is gone, but I'm seeing a number in dollars, which might not be right. So, okay, net worth. I'm just going to do it. Why not? UK median. Let me just look this up. Yes. So median household wealth in pounds, 35 to 44 is 209,600, and 45 to 54 is 301,900. So quite steep because the pound is, of course, very strong. And yeah, so that is, those are the numbers. And those are just in the world, right? And it's funny because it's almost, well, nearly all continents here. So looking at where you're at. And as I mentioned before, you can download the net worth calculator. And the reason why you want to calculate your net worth, and you want to do this kind of like, you could do it every month, right? But I would say let's just do it every quarter. So when you're doing your quarterly finances, your taxes, which is probably around now because this is the beginning of April, then you could just write it down, and then you can change it every time, and that you spend some money or maybe make some money and then invest it in something, and you can actually look at it. And also with the stock market and how it's going, you can also just look at is this actually, how does this influence my net worth? And my net worth has not risen because of the Middle Eastern war. It's actually gone down a little bit, but I have quite a diversified portfolio, so I think I'm at zero, right? There's zero change, so it's still good, right? And I made some profit for the past year, 1.5 year. Anyway, what you want to do with net worth is that you want to know it, right? You want to know how much you're worth, and then you want to look at so for instance, if everything falls apart, what do you still have? And I remember when I first started this business, my coaching business, I had a conversation with my husband, and I just really wanted to do it. And we even discussed that it was possible. He said, oh, yeah. You know what? Worst case scenario, we're going to sell this house, right? I mean, that's it's quite a nuisance, obviously, to have to sell your house. But it was nice to know what I could in that period fall back on. And we did not pay off our house in full yet, but we would get some money, obviously, from our house. So that was a nice reassurance and knowing. And the situation has changed now. This was 4 or 5 years ago, because I started my business 4 years ago, but I knew I was going to start my business 5 years ago. And I don't remember when we had this conversation, but it was so nice. And I thought, yeah, this is exactly, having the security and understanding, oh, this is apparently um, what what risk I can take. Um, yeah, perfect. So when you fill out the calculator, which you can download below and download for free, is you don't have to be super precise with everything. So, for instance, with your house price, yeah, you can ask a broker to come and to estimate the value of your house, but you can also just look at, okay, so it probably, if you're looking at your neighborhood and what has been sold before, and if you're looking at your square footage meters and all those things, yeah, it might be interesting. You can just do whatever you believe is nearest to the net worth, right? Um, doesn't have to be super precise. But so, for instance, why do you do this? Why do you calculate your net worth besides from, oh, if everything falls apart, what do I still have? At one point, and when you're especially inside my Wealth Icon Mastermind, we're also going to discuss, what is going to be your investment strategy. And so, for instance, if one of your strategies is going to be, I want to have in my portfolio, I want to have 10% real estate, 10% crypto, 20% or maybe 50% ETFs, 10% personal items like jewelry or maybe art. You kind of have to know of what the percentage is going to be, right? So it's really the starting point, the beginning of where you're at, and or maybe collectibles, all those things. It's all in the calculator. You can download it for free. And I hope this has lifted a veil around looking at your numbers. And most people who do this exercise, clients of mine who do this exercise, actually see, I'm actually worth more than I thought. So enjoy doing this. And I'll see you back next week for another wealthy episode. Have a happy day. Thank you for listening to the Shadow Business Podcast. I love creating this podcast, but I also really love getting your feedback. So if there's something that really has changed something for you, and if you really thought, oh, this is amazing, send me a message on either Instagram or LinkedIn, and I'm happy to listen to your experience or what has changed for you. If you want to help me and also others around you, then you can rate this podcast. Please give it a 5-star review. You can do that with the stars, and also share your podcast on your Instagram stories or on your LinkedIn and say what has really changed for you, because that's not just helping me getting more followers, but it's also helping those people to get this information about wealth, about shadow work, about everybody's psychological state, and yeah, just really help the world a little bit. And your contribution is much appreciated. Have a happy day. Bye.